dishwasher was beeping, the neighbor was loud. Take 3. Moi! My name is Jana, and you're watching Finnish Knitting Stories, episode 88. Welcome, or welcome back to my cozy craft room here in southern Finland, in the middle of forest, where I come to you weekly. I try weekly, every Friday, to talk about knitting and some other things as well. So, as I already said, today is Friday. It's an overcast day. It's quite early morning still. I'm taking in the first light that's coming my way. I walked the kiddo to school, came back here and decided to sit down and talk to you before starting my day. So, how have you been? I hope all is well wherever you are. You can find me on Instagram as Knits and on Ravelry as Knits, and all the important information is in the description box down below. I also have Patreon and Ko-fi, and the patterns I talk about I try to add in the info box down below. Okay, let's talk about knitting. That's why we're here, right? I have one finished object, and you probably already know. If you follow me on Instagram, you definitely know what's my finished object. It's big. It's big. It's the Geogradient. I finished. Ooh, ooh. I finished my Geogradient Mystery Knit Along by Stephen West 2023. And I just realized that one little thing is missing from it. I forgot to add the label, but we will do that later. But the shawl is finished. And I cast it off. I added the last fringe. I have a fringe, yes, on October 31st. So ready? Wanna see? It has fringe, and it's not tiny fringe. It's not big neither, because I had limited yarn available to do the fringe. But okay, coming. Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she just pretty? My lovely strawberry shortcake granny Christmas candy. People have many different associations with this color. I see like summer flowers and maybe some fruit. Yeah, strawberry pretty much. But yeah. It's so retro, it's so good, it makes my heart very, very happy. I love the shape. Look at that little bottom bit. I love that it's not a sharp triangle. I'm in love with this shape. I don't have anything else in this shape. It's definitely so 70s, maybe beginning of 80s, and so the clue for that you haven't seen, you saw the beginning of my clue for. I'm trying to get my fringe straight. Get your fringe straight, woman. Look at it. It's so beautiful. I would have probably made it bigger, but I wanted to do the fringe, and I was putting my yarn on a scale, and I realized that I don't have enough yarn for both. It's either bigger border or fringe, and I went with the fringe, and I think that was the right decision. And as you can see, I did not mix the colors in my fringe. I kind of faded it. It doesn't go in as order 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It fades in and out to the darkest, and then to the lightest, and then back to the darkest. Like I'm repeating the middle 2 colors on both sides. Like, you get the idea. I'm fading it. That way it's not too heavy, it's not too busy, because if I would have mixed all the colors in the fringe, I think it wouldn't be as clean as I wanted it. Because here we have these very clean, crisp stripes. It would have been just different look. And I wanted to keep the look of clean, crisp color changes. Like, yes, because we're not fading. I did fade a bit here, but it's still each little tail is own color. So I think it really keeps it clean. And the size, it's good. It's a good size. It's It's blocking helped, and the border helped, and fringe helped even more. So the size is very good and comfy, and this is definitely the one I'm gonna wear a lot when the weather gets warmer. I'm not feeling it right now in this gloomy autumnal weather, but once the first sunshine of spring hits, I'm pulling it out and wearing it, and it's so playful, and I think it looks good also worn like this. I'm getting a bit warm. Look at that. Look at that. I will insert footage at the end. As usual, we filmed some footage, except it started snowing while we were filming, but... And you can see more pictures on my Instagram and on Ravelry. I already updated the project page. Look at that. How good is this bit? I love that it's not a triangle. I love what it does. I think it's so beautiful, and I'm very, very happy with it. I'm happy with my colors, even though I know I was doping my poppy red. No more, no more. So, yeah, I'm happy with my granny. Steven reposted my shawl yesterday. I was like, oh, oh, third time. Third time in a month Steven is mentioning me, and I feel special. I feel like a very, very special crafter here in my quiet forest corner. That getting acknowledged by somebody that I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of Steven, and you probably know that because I have knit quite a bunch of his patterns, and he never disappoints. Sometimes it might be a bit too extravagant, but we love a good challenge. We just need to be braver. I'm at that age when I stopped caring what people think about my outfits. And it's so good. I wish I would have been like that when I was teenager, or in my 20s, or in my early 30s. I wish I would not have cared as much as what people are gonna think. If I want to dress up like a mad hobbit, I can. If I want to wear a granny square crazy shawl from the 70s, I can, and I don't care. Because I dress for myself and for other people who can appreciate it, probably. My husband doesn't have a problem with the way I dress. I know some husbands might be a bit like, what are you wearing? Mine doesn't care. Luckily, I'm so lucky he doesn't care what I'm wearing. Sometimes I ask, is it a bit too much? He's like, nah, go for it. If it makes you happy. Yeah. I sometimes nag about what he's wearing when he goes out in a town wearing his construction clothes, and they are not the cleanest sometimes if he has come from a work field, and like, what are you wearing? Work outfit. Okay, selvä. Clear. Anyways, back to Earth. This makes me emotional because I don't think I've been this happy about Mystery Knit Along Shawl ever. I think this is my favorite. Before Slipstravaganza was my favorite. I think this one trumps it. It's good. I know there was a lot of drama in the beginning, and it was a bumpy start. But then we pivoted and things turned out really, really well. I love this texture. I did not love knitting it, you know. But I love this texture. I'm touching it all the time. And the Clue 4, I love how it looks, and I loved knitting it because we were going long back and forward, and there was no need to do the other side, wing, whatever. And the fringe took forever. The fringe took me longer than the Clue 4. I was struggling with adding the fringe. It was just so much because I added it in that every little hole that was between those little scallops. So, yes. Can I show you one thing that I did not knit, but it's very much related to this? Now you will know my love, where my love for color and big, juicy fringe comes from. If you have been following me from the beginning, I once did a shawl special, and this shawl has made a special appearance on that shawl special, like 3 years ago. The quality of my episodes wasn't great at that point, but there was some good content there. If you want to see my older shawls, go check it out. I'll try to link it. It's in 2 parts. And I'll show you this. It's from my grandma. Surprisingly, my knitting grandma, because I had 2 very crafty grandmothers. Each had own strengths. On my father's side, my grandmother, Sophie, is named after her. Sophie is actually named after my both grandmothers, like first name and middle name. But so my grandmother Sophia crocheted the shawl, and she was not a crocheter, but looks like she was also expanding her interests from time to time. She was an avid knitter. She was very good knitter, and I'm amazed at the technical skills she had, even though there was no place to learn knitting except some books that didn't have that much information. Like, she was very good at knitting, and she taught me to knit when I was only 5 years old, and I've been knitting ever since. So let's all thank my grandmother for passing on the skill to me, because nobody else in my family knits. I'm the only one. She crocheted this, I would guess, in 70s. It's made with a very, very thin, feels like wool or wool blend. I would say wool because the tassels are felting a little bit, and it's this very, very thin lace weight yarn held I don't know how many times, but you can see. And it's just beautiful crochet, very simple crochet shawl with the giant tassels. That's where I get my love for tassels, and obviously color. Ta-da! Grandmother, granddaughter. Where is the granny? There. Okay, this is not the granny, but you get the idea. I just saw this in my closet in the morning, and I have to show you. I have to show you this. It's a special one, and I have a few sweaters knit by my grandma. I could show them to you some other time. And my other grandmother, my maternal grandmother, was amazing crocheter, and she did a lot of needlepoint embroidery, like cross stitch, and I think the other kind of embroidery. And she was a sewist. She was actually a professional seamstress who worked at the factory making and fixing clothes for coal miners. It was straight after the war. She was a young girl, and she got a job at the factory. And she made all my mom's clothes and my auntie's clothes and her own clothes, and I can't sew, but I can crochet and hopefully soon embroider. About that later. But yes, today I just wanted to share this with you. It's an heirloom. It's an heirloom. This shawl is older than me, and I'm keeping it. I hope Sophia will cherish it as well. Okay, I need to park it somewhere, and let's put this one somewhere as well. Let's put it here for a moment. That's my only finished object this week, but I think it's enough. It's enough. It's big and beautiful, and I really love it. And I finished, like, not that we had a schedule to finish, but I finished it in month of October, which is surprising. I think I have not before. I have always been a bit behind on my shawls. I don't remember about Slipstravaganza, but then the other two, I think I was late, and the previous one very late. The one before, I struggled with that one. Okay, want to know what I'm wearing? You probably already know, right? I think I have worn it fairly recently. It's my Gloam. It's my Gloam birthday knit from, I'm trying to remember, 2-3 years ago? My birthday cast on. With heavy modifications, because I dislike seaming, you know that. The back is good. The back is good here. Caitlin Hunter is the designer, and it's cozy. I wanted an extra layer today, and I'm wearing my not perfect linen dress. You have also probably seen it many, many times, but it's my favorite. Can't help it. And mushroom earrings, because last chance for mushroom earrings before snow hits again. About that one later as well. Okay, whips. Let's go to whips. I have two. Both of them will be new cast-ons. I haven't worked on any of the old ones. It's been that kind of week when I've been craving something new, and yeah, and I fulfilled that craving. I filled it in. My fancy IKEA project bag. It's a big knit. It needs a big bag, and I don't have that many large bags. And the ones I have are filled with blankets and other larger knits that I should probably be working on. But I have no business casting on new things, but I wanna, so we don't judge here. I wanna, and you know what this is, right? It's my Christmas dress. It's my Christmas dress, and I left the needle stoppers, oh well, in the living room. It's my Christmas dress. I'm at the good point where I just ran out of the first cake of Nutiden. Let's start with the pattern. Pattern is chestnut dress by Petite Knit. I talked about it last time. I swatched. I recalculated the numbers. I'm having my own size adjustments because I did not meet the gauge, and I'm using Nutiden. I'll grab a new cake because my previous cake ran out. In color Amanita, hint, and Isager silk mohair. There. In color number 32. I know many people have asked, and I'm saying it's 32 because it's a perfect match. If you need a match for your Amanita, Isager silk mohair number 32 is the perfect match. Yes, so I cast it on. I have already joined the front and back. There we are. It's not as red as it looks in the screen. It's more like this. It is very red. It's still very, very red. For me, especially for me. I don't do red. I'm not good with red. I even very rarely dye red yarn because it's just I'm not feeling it fully. But this one we're slowly getting into Christmas mood over here. Now it's not too early probably, because if I want to wear it in December, I need to work on it now. And I'm here just under, here is the sleeve, and I have knit another maybe like 6 centimeters. It's a drop shoulder construction, and you knit front and back flat first and like picking up on the shoulders and then joining it in the round. It's a paid for pattern by Petite Knit, and there are surprisingly not many projects of this. It's a very loose fitting. Mine probably won't have that much positive ease. And then I'm thinking it's a long dress, long sleeve and a bit of a turtleneck kind of. And it has slits on, I think, both sides. And I'm thinking, is that a bit much in red? I think it's a bit much. Who am I, Jessica Rabbit? And then another thing, they look a bit messy in some of the pictures I have seen. So I'm thinking, could I do it without? Will I be tripping? Is it wide enough not to have the slits and walk comfortably? Because I also want it to be comfortable. I'm planning to live in it in the month of December. So I don't know. But I still have quite a while until I get to that point. I'm just like here. There, that's where I am. It looks crazy red, but it's more of a glögi red, mulled wine red, together with mohair rather than, yeah. It's just not showing on the screen, but you get the idea. And I have now, so far, this is my second ball of mohair and one cake of Nutiden, which is not very informative because the plates are different size. But yes, it was a big plate. And this red one is very stable and enjoyable to work with, and it's quite thick. It doesn't break at all. I have once broken it while moving it, but it was just because it got stuck and I pulled accidentally. I've not broken it during knitting, not even once. Very, very enjoyable to work with, and because some can be thinner and more fragile, and I'm holding it single with a strand of mohair, but I think it would have also been fine just single. And when I got the mohair, I did not yet know if yeah, if it would have been fine just alone, but it would have. And I would have probably got the gauge without the mohair, but oh well, it's already too late. Okay, I have one more cast on, which is, yeah, new. You haven't seen it before, and it's also a shop sample, so it's not a big project, and I have a straight needle. You'll soon know why. These are very vintage, like they look like a little caramels there on top. I usually store them there in a jar, just decorational, but I use them. I have a new bag. It's one of my purchases and acquisitions. I ordered it when we were all unwell and I was having terrible times, and I treat myself and order a beautiful bag from Bertie and Poppet. It's still autumn, and it arrived yesterday, and I straight away put a project in. I love Jill's bags. I ordered it, and it has floral pumpkins on it. It's not Halloween themed, it's autumn themed, so it's good. Thank you, Jill. It's lovely. It's lovely. If you don't know who Jill is, Jill is the maker behind Bertie and Poppet bags. She has an Etsy store. I will link everything down below. This is not sponsored. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of her work, and she makes the most beautiful, high quality knitting bags. That I have my own mini collection of the bags. And this is the new autumn bag, because I should stop buying bags, but I can't. I'm weak. What's in it? In it is Spot Cowl by Anna Wenzel. It's a rather new pattern, and I bought it when it was released. I cast it on 2 nights ago. Like, I have knit on it 2 nights, and it's a mess. I have my stranded knitting ring hanging there. I have yarn, because I'm knitting with 3 yarns. I'll show you what I have first. It will have interesting construction. It will have a big tube, and then it will have a little front piece and back piece in twisted ribbing, I think. And there are not yet many projects because it's a rather new pattern. But why I bought it? Because I might want a knit spot sweater someday. So I'm trying it out on a smaller scale. And why I pulled out these needles? Because I was casting on late in the evening, and I decided to go with a called for tubular cast on, and I was just struggling to do it on my circulars. And it happens sometimes. I usually just do it on my circulars, but it was late and the yarn was dark and the stitches were rolling and I couldn't see if they are the right direction, so I just pulled out straight needles, and it helps. It really helps. That's why I have them here. But now they can go back into the big glass jar with all my other straight needles. Purely decorational, but sometimes useful. I'm knitting mine on a smaller needle than the pattern suggests. Pattern called for 4.5. I could not get gauge, so I went down to 4. And you have main color and the contrast color, and I'm knitting it in the suggested yarn. Because as I said, it's a shop sample, and we now carry the beautiful Isagar yarn. That's the yarn I'm using. And the colors are 89 and 87. I have saved the labels. I'll show you the balls now. So this is my main and this is my contrast. It's not beige, it has a pink tone to it. I don't know, is the light good enough to pick it up? It's beautiful. And then I'm adding mohair to the dark one, and the mohair color is number 60. Yes, 60. Also by Isager, and it's incredibly soft. This yarn is a good woolly yarn. It's a Danish wool, spun in Denmark, made in Denmark, and it's beautiful. It's rustic, but it's not scratchy. It's a nice rustic. I think I could wear it next to skin, but it's me. I'm not too sensitive, except when it comes to alpaca. But I want a cardigan also in this wool. I think I would love one, a good basic staple, something maybe like a Felix cardigan. But yeah, these are my colors. And that's where I am, and there is my stranded knitting ring hanging on it. You ask how I knit stranded knitting, like color work, so fast. I use my little rings, but you need to knit continental to use those rings. Otherwise, if you're a thrower, it's not gonna work. Like to separate the strands and to keep yarns, yeah, not tangled. That's what I do. Is there anything else to tell about? So yeah, the main color has a mohair and the contrast color does not. And all the samples or projects I have seen have a light main color, like background, and dark contrast. And I decided to flip it around. Just because. I don't know why. I think a darker cowl would be more practical. Yes. Because once it's done being shop sample, after a while it will come to live with me, and I'm gonna wear it. I want to show you how beautiful the sides are executed. Look, like you cannot see where you change the color because it's just so smart. Both sides are same, and the stitch distribution is not even. There is more stitches on one side than the other. And I think that's also very smart because we will be adding the front and back bits. So far, I'm really enjoying the pattern. It's very clear. It's very simple color work, intuitive. I don't need to use the pattern. I'm just checking, have I messed up somewhere? It's very intuitive and then it's all wrong. No, it's good. It's good. Okay, I'll put it back. I'll put it back into my beautiful autumnal bag. Little foxes will be peeking out. So, there. Those are all the whips I want to show you this week, because other ones are not, they are not at a new exciting stage. I'm just slowly working on them, but I will show them probably next time. I have one more purchase. It's not yarny, it's a book. Because I caved in and bought myself a book. I'm trying to minimize book buying because I have a shelf full of beautiful books that I sometimes feel a bit sad because I don't have time to knit from all of them. And I really want to knit from the books I have because I loved them, I bought them, and there are some books that I have knit nothing from them, and it makes me incredibly sad because the speed of life now is just so fast, too fast for my taste, because it's just new thing, next, new thing, next. We're just rushing through it, and I don't have time to enjoy. If I buy a book, I want to enjoy it, I want to read it, I want to knit from it. And then you turn around, there is already next new thing staring at you. And I understand everybody needs to make money, and there is enough people to buy those books. Like, I don't buy every single book that comes out. But sometimes when you see a special one, you just have to. Because I mentioned embroidery earlier, and I know I'm late to the party. Everybody already has it, everybody's already doing it, and I'm late to the party, but we're not about trends here. We're here, over here, we're about slow hobbit life, and you kind of know that if you're here, right? So, I think this hobbit needs an embroidered piece in the wardrobe. And I want to make something for myself and something for Sophia because she loves all kind of little flowers and pictures and everything. And I did a fair amount of embroidery as a child, but not much after that. Like maybe a pair of socks and a couple of little projects, but not much at all. I probably have it still somewhere in me, and I think it's quite intuitive craft. Not that I need a new hobby, but I'm gonna try. I'm currently looking for a victim in my wardrobe. I want to take some red in it. I was thinking maybe I could pull out a basket of my swatches and try practice on some of the swatches because I have some saved when I didn't frog them or didn't turn them into a coaster, which is another great use for your swatches. If it's thick enough and like relatively square, you can make a coaster out of it. Mug rug. But I have some. I think I need to practice a little bit because I don't know. Feels a bit scary, but also exciting. I can always rip it out if it doesn't work out, but yeah, it's a beautiful book. I'm not gonna. If I start showing it to you, we will be here till tomorrow. Just a couple of things. Bugs. Can I show you the bugs? The bugs are beautiful. I want the moth. I want the moth on my sweater. Yes, there were so many. Look at that. That's with some silk ribbons, I think. Yeah, probably. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Lovely. And the author is Judith Gumlich. I'm sorry, I did not mention that. Too excited. Already in my head embroidering. But yes, I need to practice, then I need to find a victim from my closet. Maybe some old worn down sweater. Maybe home sweater. If I mess up that, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. And speaking of old sweaters, I got an idea. On popular demand, I got an idea. Yes, you helped me. Because a lot of people have been asking, how do your older knits hold up? It's a very commonly asked question, and people are interested, and my viewers always have good ideas, and I decided let's have a new segment. We will call it Well-Loved Knits. First time, premiere. And it's a segment where I will pull a knit item out of my closet, what I've been wearing, just in a state it is, no detailing, no anything, just straight out of wear, and I will show it to you how it has held up over time. And I have so many I couldn't figure out which one to start with, so I just took one of my favorites and one of probably most worn ones during the cold season. Let's begin. I pulled out my Into the Wild sweater by Tanya Burley. I checked, I finished it January 2022, so almost 2 years ago. And it has been in constant use during the cold seasons, like in Finland, that's spring, winter, autumn, winter, spring, if we go in order. And for 2 years. It's knit in a single strand of Plötulopi color work, Plötulopi Icelandic wool by Istex. I'm a loose knitter. I will show you how it has held up. So I have not depilled this one even once. Sorry, it's a bit wrinkly. It was folded a bit badly in my closet. I was probably in a hurry or something, but real life, we show it as it is. Let me see if I can find some pilling. In the armpit, there is a bit of pilling. And down the side, but mostly not. The hem, I think, is a bit stretched out, but not dramatically. The neckline is good. I think the color work is holding the neckline in place. It's not stretched out. It hasn't worn through anywhere, not in the pits, not on the elbows. That's where it usually happens, especially with a single-stranded unspun. Has it felted? Probably. Probably. Let's look on the inside. How do the floats look? Have they felted together? Oh, yes. The floats are not... You can't even pull them apart. Like... They have nicely felted together. I think I have washed it once last year before putting it away, or this year in spring. I have washed it once, like properly. I have given it a snow wash once last winter and aerated it a lot. But I don't wear it on a bearskin. I usually have something under, so it's not like I'm sweating directly on it. The sleeves, I'm not sure. Have the sleeves stretched out the ribbing? Maybe a little bit. But generally, I think it has held up surprisingly well. I think it's my first piece where I have knit plötulopi held single. I have not done this before, and I was a bit worried. I was concerned that how is it gonna be? Will I like have a hole on an elbow in a month? No. No, I'm letting you know that this has held up very, very well. Did I mention the pattern Into the Wild by Tanya Barley? If I did, sorry. I don't remember. It has beautiful foxes. This part is, of course, it's thicker because there are 3 strands. In some places, 3 strands of yarn running through, and it's a lovely sweater. I wear it a lot. I love it a lot, and plötulopi holds up well. It wears very well, at least in my wear. It's not like I'm doing some crazy work in it. I'm not chopping wood or doing snow works in this one. I have a bit less nice sweaters for that. Yeah, and the sleeve has a bit of pilling there. But nothing too dramatic. I'm not even sure if I want to remove it now. It just adds to the warmth, I've been told. That fuzzballs on a sweater are all right. They add to the warmth. So, yes, love it so much. It has held up well. And that's the information I'm giving you today about this sweater. And how well I have worn it. And I have worn it a lot. Okay, if there is another one in my wardrobe that you would like to see next time, or I'm not sure if I'm going to do it every week, but I will try from time to time to include this segment. Yes, let me know if there is another one you would like to see. Maybe not too new, because what's the point? Something older. If I still have it, I will share the information about it. Some of my knits are no longer here because I gift them, I donate them. If I feel like I'm not wearing them, I'm not storing them. What's the point? Some I have outgrown. If I still have it, I will talk about it. Okay. That's all my knitting related content for today. So if you're here just for that, I know some people don't enjoy hearing about my personal life, so thank you, and I will see you next time. And if you still would like to stay for knit and chat, get comfy and let's talk. I'm looking around what could I knit on, and I don't know. Something I could have knit on. Do I have anything else here? Shoot. I did not bring anything, did I? Okay. Do we just attach? Let's attach a strand of knitted and chat. I could knit on this if I attach the yarn. I'll do the center pull because I prefer that. Then I can just keep the yarns in a... I go fishing. I squish it a bit. Squish the plate. Sometimes it's nicely sticking out, but not on this one. Sometimes you get a lot of yarn barf when you try to pull that. You need to be very gentle with this yarn. I think, am I in the middle? I don't know. Let's just pull a bigger chunk. Oh no, now too much is coming. Don't be like me. Oh, found the end. That went well. Okay, I'll attach this. Just want to untangle. I could also take from outside, but then I need to unravel it carefully after each round. Okay, now I'm creating a yarn mess here. Luckily you can't see. It's lower than that. Okay, I got the end. I'll put the yarn on the floor and attach it. We use the spit splice method. If I'm knitting for somebody else, I don't do that, but this one is for me, so sorry. You'll have to excuse me. There. Ta-da! Yes. For other people, I don't do that. I just go with my hands, but this one is mine. It's okay. Do you do that? I do. Yes, so what's up in our forest corner? I don't know. Nothing much has happened this week, except on Monday we woke up and I came to the window and it was all white outside. We got snow. We got so much snow on Monday that I can't even... It was very surprising, the amount of snow that came down in that short period of time, because there was still nothing on Sunday night. And yeah, we woke up in winter and we both, my husband and I, we both still had summer tires on. Luckily the tires were at home and my hubby can change them himself. We don't need to go anywhere. He has all the tools and he has place to do that. So I was late for work and I just yanked the yarn off with my ring. Okay, this is not a good ring for knitting. Unspun. It's easy to reattach. I just said how I haven't broken this yarn. Yeah. Just did. So I was late for work, but not... At least I got there. Many people didn't, and I could see on the roads when people were driving very slowly because they still had summer tires. But it would not be possible for me to even get out of here on summer tires, and it wouldn't be safe. I think then I would just skip a day, but yeah. I got to work before midday, which was very, very good. What else except snow? Now it's melted. It melted. We had some rain and the snow melted, and which is good because I still have one flower bench left that I did not manage to cut down. Now they are all brown and icky. My autumn flowers, I left them for the last, and now I need to go and chop them down and cover things. So hopefully this weekend, I hope it's not raining, I hope it's not snowing, that I can finish the last things in my yard. So yeah, cold weather has arrived, definitely. It's quite a gloomy day, but it's all right. Main thing that it's not raining. If you hear knocking, there is a big bird behind the window trying to eat something from a porch. I don't know what do they want. I just refilled the feeder. They should have food there. It's on the other side of the house. I've been feeling a bit, I don't know, flat. A bit creatively drained and uninspired. So I've been just working on very simple things. I think the shawl took all of my creative energy and I need to recharge now. And I do that by knitting on a fairly simple things. And then, can you hear the knocking? I'm sorry, it's a bird, I can't help it. No, still there. Oh well. while I'm knitting on these simple things like stockinette in the round, I'm brewing new ideas in my head. And I think this is what I need. This is what I need, just to be cozy and hibernate for a short moment to get inspiration for the colder season. I want to knit myself little mitts, like for a morning in the car, or yeah. I even have a pattern. I have a pattern. I want to knit Hemma mitts by Ines Sang. I bought the pattern years ago. I'm trying to knit from my library, and I want to find yarn in my stash. I think hers are knit. The original one is knit in Nutiden. I could actually do that, or maybe Plötolopi. I don't know. I have both. It depends on the colors that I want. Would be nice to find something to match this. I'm somehow into browns and pinks. Browns and pinks. It's a good combo, right? Like a powdery pink with a brown. With a darker brown. Yeah. So now I talked about dream knitting as well. And I would like to cast on another sweater, but there are a lot of other things I need to do. I don't know what else. Halloween was we don't celebrate, and the bigger kiddo decorated. Our son decorated the house. He asked, "Can he do that?" And I said, "Yeah, sure," because we don't do Halloween. It's not my I don't it's not my holiday. But they do it at school. They had a Halloween disco, and he dressed up as some kind of, I don't know what he was, some kind of, not a monster, but something scary and black and with scars and creepy. And Sophia is a unicorn. What can you do? She doesn't do creepy. She likes fairy, happy, colorful. Yeah, so unicorn and some kind of monster. Uh, zombie. Yes, so he wanted to decorate, and now we have spider webs everywhere and a giant hairy spider hanging from the kitchen ceiling, and I need to pack them up. I need to tell him that now, okay, we did that, and now it's time to pack it up because it's over. I don't mind. It was fun for him, and actually I think everybody got a kick out of it. And then we made a little clay ghosts last weekend, and just from a air drying clay. I had a packet. It was still all right. It was open, but it was still all right. I had it in a sealed plastic bag. So we just played and made all kinds of things, little pumpkins and mushrooms, and my husband made some kind of creature, and Bruno made a snowman, and Sophia made a pumpkin with me, and what else? And a duck. Sophia wanted to do a duck. I helped her with the eyes, but she like rolled the shape herself. So now we have a bunch of clay creatures and decorations. Yes, because last week was still a holiday week, and now kids have been at school. I'm just sighing here. I don't know why. I'm sorry. It's not that hard. It's not that hard over here. It's cold and I don't want to go out. I just want to stay home and knit and hibernate. But I have I'm going into work briefly today to ship a couple of orders and meet a person that's coming from Helsinki. Yes. What else? I don't know what else. It's Friday. I'm already a bit in a weekend mood, and we don't have any massive plans for a weekend. Probably just staying at home. Except my husband might be working tomorrow. I don't know. He's on a weird schedule, but the times are weird, and you need to take what you can get because his field is suffering. I think it's the most, or one of the most, in this recession that we're going through, and it's been a bit tough and tricky, and yeah, he's been a lot at home lately. It's nice to have him here, but not good financially. So yeah, extra pressures on my neck. uh, but that's all right. That's just life. Yeah. Sometimes one does better, sometimes another, sometimes both do well or both not do well. And I think it's hard for everybody right now. I'm not complaining here. I'm just telling you how it is. And oh well, we will get through it, all of us, right? There is no other way. But Finland is not doing well. But there are places that are doing even worse. Then there are a lot of places that are doing better. But we had a really unfortunate people running this country for quite a while, and still it's not better. It's just same circus, different clowns, but okay. Not gonna get into that, but the consequences are we're all paying for dumb decisions that people have made on the way. And anyways, not gonna get into that. Let's just talk about something nice, and I don't know what, so I'm gonna probably say goodbye and go traditionally have a cup of coffee before I head out. It's still morning. I have had one. I'm allowed another one. I actually need another one to be human. Did you spot my Christmas? It's not Christmas, it's a salt candle lantern. Ooh, can you see it? We did that during my Vlogmas this year. People have been asking if I'm gonna do Vlogmas this year. I hope so. I can't promise. I don't know what's gonna happen in December, but I hope so. So far, I think I will. Because I'm enjoying it. The family likes it too. They like to be involved and share with you what we're up to during month of December. And Christmas is, since we got kids, Christmas has become my favorite holiday. Before, not so much, but now I enjoy it through the children, I think. And I'm now enjoying all the Christmas knits also for myself. Who am I? I don't know. A very brave person that's gonna wear a red dress this holiday season. I have an elf hat to go with it. Okay, now I'm gonna say my goodbyes because I can be here till tomorrow talking to you, and we're getting more light and the day is getting brighter. Okay, I'm wishing you all a lovely weekend or week ahead whenever you're watching this, and take care, knit a lot, and be cozy. I'll see you next time, and heippa!